Well, hello farming friends, and welcome back to another edition of Farming Simulator 2015 with me, your old buddy Mistermoose. Back on Manchester today, and just about harvest time. Pretty excited here. Let's go check out our field real quick, and you guys will see where we're at. It is just coming up on, 2 o'clock here on the farm. And as you can see, our wheat is looking good. Let's look at our numbers real quick. Our soil pH is 7.1. That puts us neutral. That's about where we want to be. 6.8 is perfect. Soil moisture 71%. Then our nutrients is at 6 and 4. We're shooting for 5 and 4. So we'll probably end up with 5.3, but we're looking really good. So there's no need to put any more moisture onto this field because it will lose 14 points tonight when we go through the midnight cycle, and we'll be good. We didn't lose anything at noon, obviously, because we didn't have any, our temperature was under the 22°C range, so pretty good there. Well, let's go look at the backfields because they're an interesting story. Now again, keep in mind with the soil mod, the moisture for the day isn't calculated at noon. The only thing that happens at noon is the temperature is at 22°C at noon, we lose another 14 points on moisture. So the spraying that I did this morning has not yet taken effect. So you're seeing that we're still at 43%. You can get misled by this. It's actually right now at 57% because we did spray water on it this morning. So keep that in mind. What happened at noon did not calculate that moisture into the soil. It simply just said, okay, it wasn't hot enough to dry out the soil anymore, so we didn't take any moisture away from the soil. Had it have been a hot day, we'd have lost another little bit, and would need to put some moisture on there. That's one thing I got confused about for a while there, was that at noon it would calculate the moisture level in the field, and the number at noon would be reflective of the actual moisture content. But spraying in the morning, that spray hasn't actually calculated in. When we get to midnight, it'll add that in, and we'll end up with pretty, we should have 57%. Because if you think about it, this morning we came through, we sprayed with water at 6 a.m. That should add 14 points onto our field. We should have, in this very spot I'm standing, a moisture content of 60. We should have a moisture con of about 57 right here. Yeah, we should. We should have that. Cornfield. Moisture content is right about 40, 45, 43. Varies around. But yeah, we're in the same boat as that field. And we should, because we've treated these two fields exactly the same. Our nutrient level is 8 and our pK is at 3. That's all going to change because I did something stupid yesterday. We'll go ahead and fast forward time because we really don't need to put any moisture on these fields since they didn't dry out at noon. So we'll go ahead and let the soil mod calculate at midnight, and we'll come on up to 6 a.m. and we'll look at our numbers. And it takes a minute for all the numbers to calculate. Then we'll run out of the field so you guys can see what I've done when everything changes. So, yesterday for day 4, we're now at day 5, I watered this field. I filled the tractor back up, and then I came back and I sprayed this field. And I stood there and I said, or sat there and I said, gotta change to NPK and then change back to water. What did I do? I never changed back to water. And I sprayed this whole field with NPK yesterday. So now my nitrogen is through the roof. We are now at 10x on our nitrogen, and our PK is at 4, which is fine. The PK needs to be around 4, but we're going to burn this corn up. I mean, not much I can do about it. I hosed it. I hate that function. You should be able to just switch over to water and fill up with water. You should be able to switch to whatever you want. You shouldn't have to switch back to NPK to fill up your fertilizer and then select what you're going to go spray. And it catches me. So I hose this field. Otherwise, everything on this one looks fine. Our moisture is 57%, right? Which should be the calculation for it. It should be 57%. And then everything else is where it is. But I'm afraid that nitrogen being so high is going to just eat this field up. Oh well. Now, this is the one that baffles me. Look at the moisture content. 71%. I didn't put a double dose of moisture on this field yesterday, so why is it so high? It was at 43%. It's had the exact same moisture put on it as the corn did, but now it's at 73%. 71. I mean, it's got an extra dose of moisture on this field from somewhere, and I don't know. Did one of you guys jump in the game and spray it with water and not tell me? I'm baffled. I don't get it. So, maybe when soybean goes into its third growth stage, it puts water into the field because there's so much foliage covering it? Doubt it. Doesn't make any sense at all why that's happened. Oh well. I can't figure it all out. Back to the drawing board on that one. Otherwise, that field looks pretty good. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to grab a gravity wagon while I'm here, because we are going to be harvesting our wheat here in just a few minutes. So the game plan on the wheat is I'm going to use 2 tractors to handle the tipping, and 2 combines. And the combines are going to fill up rather quickly in this process because the yield should be extremely high. Why? Because I should have hit the numbers perfect on this field. And we'll look and we'll see right now. Just like Julie Andrews, we run through the wheat. And we sing a song because we are happy. 7.1 on our pH. 6.8 is perfect as long as you are in the neutral category. You're fine. Soil moisture, 56, 57% is perfect. We are right here at it. So, yeah. Nutrients, 5 and 3. We were shooting for 5 and 4. 5 is perfect on your nitrogen. 4, now look, I've read 2 schools of thought. One school says 4 for your PK. The other one says 3 for PK. Either way, we're going to be really good on this. So this field is awesome. And it is going to give us our full yield. And we are going to rock with it. So that means our combines are going to fill up fast, and one tipper is not going to be able to keep up with it. So that's the reason we'll bring a second tractor in and we'll run dual tractors on it. Now, if I was using an auger wagon and dumping on the side of the field, even though that wouldn't even keep up because I mean, it's not like our tipping area is that far from the field. It's right next to it. So, 2 tractors running on this because we are going to fill up quickly. Maybe if I ran a train on one tractor, I could keep up with it, but I think just 2 tractors will be the best bet to go. So we'll do that, and we'll get this field harvested. Pretty excited about it. Alright, so while we're doing that, a couple of things I want to address with you guys in this video. First off has to do with, and I mentioned this at the end of yesterday's video, so if you did see this yesterday, I do apologize, but because I mentioned it so late, I thought I would readdress it in this video. Y'all know I like Fishing Planet. I've been talking about it for you guys. I've been talking about it going into open beta. Yesterday in the video, or the day before in the video, I talked about how it would probably be another couple of weeks before that went into open beta. And then yesterday, I found out that it would be going open beta, or yeah, yesterday morning I found out it would be going open beta on August the 11th. So just a few more days from now, it will be going live. I don't necessarily agree with that, but it shall be going to open beta on the 11th if all goes according to what they have planned. I will say this, there are a lot of bugs in that game right now, and unless they get them all corrected in the next 5-6 days, I just don't think it's in their best interest to go live with that game on the 11th. They will be getting so many complaints, and from people, it's not even funny. Now, granted, most of the... I know what they're thinking. They're thinking that as long as they've got the gameplay good on the lower level lakes, they're fine. And they can always work on the higher tier lakes while people are leveling up. Because when they go to open beta, they're going to wipe everybody's slate completely clean and make everyone start from zero. Which is, you know, the way it should be. You know, I shouldn't be able to stay up where I'm at when everybody else joins the game. It's a little frustrating to have to go through the whole grind all over again, but it is what it is. So, and some of the issues are on some of the higher tier lakes. However, they have some just real issues right now in the basic fishing mechanics that need to get corrected before they should go live with it. And I'm sure they're going to work hard on that this week and hopefully get that corrected. If they don't, I just don't see they should go live with it on the 11th. But it probably will go live on the 11th. But I mean, like, was it yesterday? No, Monday. Monday there were 3 patches within 6 hours of each other. I mean, it seemed like every 2 hours you had to download a new... you had to go in and download a new update to it. And that was sort of silly. And they need to fix that. Or they're going to have some issues. But anyways, I yak on. Alright, so we're going to get this guys going and get this field started up. And I messed up on this. I didn't want to do what I just did. Oh well. Alright, so let's get this guy opened up. And I'll get started here. I'll just go ahead and start cutting in here. And I'll kind of start getting going. But anyways, so that's point number one. Point number two, I probably will be limiting myself for the next 6 days on videos down to just one video a day. Because last night I did get a note from my ISP letting me know that I had come to the point where I had reached 86% of my usage for the month, and that over the next 6 days I basically had about 48 gig left to use, which y'all remember with 10 days to go I had something like 88 gigs, so I'm kind of burning through it. And part of that is because I had to download Fishing Planet 3 times the other night. So yeah, that doesn't help out when you're trying to manage your resources. So I'm sort of in that boat there. This did not work out the way I wanted to do it. What I wanted to do, I wanted to take this guy and start him up here. I wanted to bring him up and then cut forward before I even started the other one. I'm still gonna do it. Y'all just gonna have to deal with it. I'll just drive this one back down here. Because I'm an idiot and I do things stupid. Again, I start talking, I don't think about what I'm doing when I'm talking, and that gets me in trouble sometimes. I make mistakes, like spraying NPK on a field when I didn't need to. Alright, so this guy will pick up down here. I can go back to the other one. I can set everybody up now. So let's go ahead and get this guy opened up, and we'll get this guy's going here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have each one of these guys just chase a different combine. So let's go into course play and go into combine mode. I've already got this grain to silo 4 saved from previous. And I will pick a combine and I'm going to assign it to it. The easiest way to figure out which, now both of these are named the exact same, right? So how do you know which one? Well, obviously this one over here looks closer, so the smaller number should probably be right. I want to assign this one to this guy up here, so if I turn and I start driving towards it, you'll notice my numbers are decreasing, so I know that's the one that I want to be on. Alright, so go ahead and activate my 4-wheel drive and tell this guy to drive course. And I'll grab the John Deere and do basically the same thing with him. Let me get out of the way of this idiot real quick so I don't get run over. And we'll do the same thing. Combine mode. Assign a combine. And again, we want to do the one that's closer to him. This one here. Drive towards it. Verify that's the right one. And tell it to... Did I give it a course? Give it a course. And tell it to drive now. Don't run into the tree. Whew, thought it was going to run into the tree. Alright, so now I can go get into this guy. And I can start running up here, and this guy is going to come try and empty it right off the bat. So I might as well let him. And then I can go ahead and start this one. Cut in, turn, and we'll get going. And I'm just going to throw chopped straw out this time because I don't really need any swath. We'll set this guy up on auto combine. So the reason I'm doing a little bit different, I want this guy to basically be the lead tractor. This guy can be the follow. And I'm going to drive that one, and then I'll let these guys do the chasing. Everything looks good there. Engage that. I'll tab back into this guy, and I will get going with the rest of what I need to do. Pull my pipe in, and we'll go from there. And hopefully this all works out the way I wanted it to do. So anyways, yeah, so I'm going to limit myself to a video a day for the next 6 days, because that's 3, you know, when I post a video, that's 3 gig, pretty much, of usage. And then, if I'm playing, you know, unfortunately, most of the video games I play, I have to be connected to the internet during them. While I'm doing that, I need to, I'm going to be using some internet there, playing Fishing Planet and things like that. So basically I've got about 8 gig a day I can use, but I do also have a couple of folks that live with me, that are squatting and taking up space and using my internet, so I consider them as well. So probably just going to do a video a day for the next 6 days, because I would prefer not to go over my usage limits and not have to give the cable company any more money. So I mean, it's not that much money, it's principal mainly. More than it is finances. So anyways, alright, so we'll continue to harvest here. And we should have our chase tractor coming up on us at any point now. And yet I ran right through the wheat and I don't have a chase tractor. Where is it? Oh, it's over in the lake. Nice. You gotta be kidding me. Seriously? Stop, driver. Come on, get out of here. I can't ever catch a break with this automation. No, don't run straight into the combine. Oh, you stupid fool. So much fun. It's so much fun knowing that no matter what I do, the AI is going to find a way to screw it up. Come on. Thank you. Alright, so anyways. So that's that. That's where we're at with it. Alrighty. I'll go ahead and keep an eye on this and try to get some comments in here in just a moment. You refresh this. Alright, so he spooled off. Hopefully I can get down through this leg without filling up as well, and then that way I don't have to have him empty. Let's look, we're 11%, Yeah, hopefully we can get down through here. I might hang over just a little bit so I don't take in a full run. I'd rather him not have to empty me on this leg, because he'll run into that ditch like an idiot and I'll have to end up taking care of that. So I'm going to try to short my run here just a little bit to give myself a little bit of breathing room. I know I'm not going to be as efficient in order to be more efficient. Alright, so the John Deere's got 80%. He just emptied the other combine, so he's working right. Looks like we'll be alright. We're at 57% and we're almost to the end of this row. Yeah. 63, 65, 66. Yeah, we should be good. Back up. If I can get my turn and get started before he goes and drives in the ditch to get behind me, that's the other thing that we gotta deal with. Hopefully I can get enough leeway before he goes and drives into the ditch. Looks like we got away with it. Cool. So we should be able to just run on up through here and do this like normal people do it. All right. Some of the comments. Let's see if I can get these. Oops, I'm missing a little bit there. Trying to do too many things at once. I have to come back and get that. Put my pipe back in. Set up cruise control. And we're off to the races. All right. Alright, so Sandra Bartley writes, I came here because I was having trouble finding trigger points. You made it very clear on how to find that. Now to put it to use. Love to see someone who takes their video making seriously. Great job and thanks. That's in response to a video I did on the lettuce, placeable lettuce greenhouse. Appreciate the comment. Thank you. I try to be informative in these videos. Again, I approach these videos like basically when I started playing, I didn't know anything about the game, and I would look at other people's videos to try and learn a little bit about the game, and people didn't really talk that much about the game as much as their experience with FS13 or whatever. And so I try to be a little bit informative and try to cover things for people in the videos to try at least to offer information and not just, oh, I'm doing this today. So appreciate it. Glad you found the video useful. Let's see what else. Serious Gamer, thanks for the shout out. Thanks for the help, man. I know you're always out there helping everybody. I'm not the only person's videos you watch, because I know you help other gamers out as well, and appreciate it. I know they appreciate it as well. Come on, get in there. Alright, now that I got a little bit out of there, I can start back. He's going to fill up. Drive on. Alright. So get into this field. And I'll get straightened up and hit cruise control again. And we'll see what other comments we can find here. But yeah, Serious Gamer does a great job of helping everybody out, and I need to go check. I'm sure he has a channel with some videos on it. Spitzer Van Ochen, Little Fishing in Colorado. I took a look at the length of the video. Yep, definitely little. I don't know what that means, other than maybe you don't think I spend enough time fishing, or I don't know. I don't get it. Let's see. PFC Baladas. Hey dude, make a mod list for Farming Sim. New sub for you. Got a mod list for Farm Sim. It's right there on all the videos now. So if you look in the show notes and it says mods I use, and there's a link, there is a spreadsheet, and you just read the spreadsheet and it will tell you all the different mods that I have. I mean, as of the first of this week, it is up to date. I've gone through and put everything in there that I've got in the game currently, or on the computer actually. Anything that's in my mods folder is on that list. Let's see. Blake Dobbins, your spraying rig doesn't get dirty either. Yeah, I know. Look, the deal with the spraying rig, and we've covered this before in not only videos on Hillshausen and here, as well as in where I did the mod showcase on it. I don't really, that is not a mod I would normally play with. I would normally, if that was just a tractor, I wouldn't let it get away with a lot of the stuff that's on that mod. It's a port over from FS13, and there's a lot of stuff about that mod I don't like, and I wouldn't normally use that. However, it is the only high boy sprayer that I have been able to find for FS15, and I've said it before, that is the type of tractor that I would see in this area. I don't see the Amazons or the Walkers or things like that around here. Most everybody has a sprayer like that. They have a high boy and they use it, and that's the reason I use that particular sprayer. I have wanted it ever since the game came out, and when I finally found it, I implemented it strictly for this situation for the soul mod. Now look, prior to doing the soul mod, I used the in-game sprayers, I used different modded spreaders, because you could fertilize prior to the field being set up, and it didn't matter. But because I'm doing soul management and I have to go through the field after the field has started to grow, I want something like a high boy that is more realistic. It's not going to damage the crop when you drive through the field, and so that's the reason I went that particular route, and that particular tractor. Yes, I know it doesn't get dirty. It has a lot of flaws to it. The air log is somewhat clean, but again, it's not perfect. It's not what I normally want. I wish somebody would do a highboy and do it properly. But that's all I've got. That's my choice that I have to deal with, and I have to make some exceptions if I want that type of tractor in my videos. So that's the reason I did that. Let's see. Gun Griffin 1993. He's commenting on a fishing video. Feel the same way, bro, about the reel breaking. I do the same thing in real life to free the snags. If anything, you would snap your rod before you break your reel. Yeah. He's commenting on my fishing video where I was talking about the fact that the in-game mechanics breaks your fishing line, or will break your fishing reel when you're trying to undo a snag. Again, they've got some mechanics in the game that aren't right. You've got people who aren't used to fishing the way we fish in the States. I don't pretend to know anything about carp fishing, but I know they sure complicate the heck out of carp fishing. And what we call a drag here in the States, they constantly are referring to as a break. And their idea of how a drag functions and my idea of how a drag functions are completely opposite. Here in the States, or the way I fish and the way I'm used to fishing and everything else like that, when you set the drag on your fishing line, it is to prevent the line from breaking. It is to allow you to set up your drag so that if you hook a really big fish, it will run with the line and spool out the line rather than break the line. And so the drag is set, you set the drag according to your line, quality of line, and the quality of fish you're going to catch. And you say, well, if I'm using 6-pound test, I'm going to set my drag to let loose around 4 pounds so that I can handle the fish. It won't snap my line. If it breaks that drag free, it will spool out line and run until the fish tires out, and then I can manhandle the fish at that point. Well, they're setting it up to be a break. They're setting it up to be a just full-on stop, and it's not right. If you set your drag any heavier than the fish, your line automatically just snaps, and it's not set up right. They need to go back and look at it and re-look at how the drag system works in that game. But they've got it set up too where if you get a snag and you pull on your line to free the snag up, it'll break your reel. Well, it would snap your line first. Now, if you're using too heavy a line on your rod and reel, you'd break your rod and your reel as well. But if you're using the right pound test line with your reel and your rod combinations, you're not going to break your reel. And besides that, you're going to wiggle your rod around and shake it back and forth and tug it up and down, and then you're going to reel in real tight and pull straight back out on the line to try and loosen it up. Well, they don't give you those options. They have, though, I will say this, in the latest patch, they did add in a mechanic for you to shake a little bit and try to free it. And then you have a way to break the line if you want to just break the line. so you don't break your reel. So they've gotten a little bit better with it. So, but anyways, thanks for the comment, man. Glad you enjoyed the video. And again, I'll get a new video up on that, you know, within the week. I've got it recorded. I spent a little bit of time last night recording, trying not to, I'm trying to get some good game footage on there without any bugs. And that's one thing I'm trying to accomplish this week with it, because I want to showcase the game and not some of the issues that are in the game. Because at this point, they really have a good product on their hands, and it's going to be a fun game to play if you're into, you know, fishing sims. It's really cool. If you're not into fishing sims, it's not going to be your cup of tea. You're just going to kind of go, no thanks. So I like running the lead combine on this. It's much more efficient than what we were doing before by chasing, because at the corners I don't have to sit and wait for auto combine to make its move. I can go ahead and just make mine, and it can be way ahead of him. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just pull off here and get out of the way and let auto combine finish up that last little bit. How about that? That field is harvested. I gotta go get that little spot that I missed up there in the front. That didn't take long at all. That took less than 30 minutes to do. That's pretty good for that big old field. Alright, let's run up here and get this little spot that we missed, and then we can go drop our head off. And then we get to start the whole process of re-prepping this field. Now look, by having this swath down on the ground, we're going to end up picking up, I think it's 1 additional nitrogen off of this stuff being in the field and being plowed in. So that'll be that. Alright, so our harvest is complete. I'll go ahead and run this guy over here and drop my head off, and then we can well, we'll drop this little bit of off here in the tractor. That whole 25 grains that we picked up, I think that was sort of a waste of time, but anyways. So pretty good harvest. Once we look at the numbers, we'll see what we actually got out of it. I'm thinking, I don't know, 50,000, 30,000. Well, it has to be more than that, because my gravity trailer went and emptied twice, and I think it holds 30. So I don't know. Hopefully we got a pretty good amount. Oh, you know what? I didn't put the wheels out on that thing. What a fool I am. Hey, come on, turn. There we go. And put the wheels out. put the wheels out. And alright, now drop it. There we go. That's the way it's supposed to be. Alright, so put these guys up, though we will be using them again tomorrow. Well, we might not be using them again tomorrow. Because I will take the time to utilize this day to go ahead and start turning that field around and get it replanted. So, not necessarily tomorrow's video. Alright, so that is done. Let's see, where are we at? The other combine is done. So let's go ahead and empty him completely out. There we go. Fold her up, and we'll take and drop our head over here behind the barn. And we're going to park this guy real quick. So anyways, let's see what other comments that we've got that we need to answer. Let's look real quick. Can't really do it and drive at the same time. Let's see. Let's see, we left off with that. Darren Stevens, OBS works good. Yeah, I did the video yesterday, and today's video is also recorded in OBS. If you guys will comment on what you think the video quality is. Does it seem to be about the same as Fraps was? If it is, let me know. Or if you think it's a little bit grainier or anything else like that. I'm definitely interested in your input on it. It seemed to me like it's pretty much about the same. But now yesterday's video was horrible because it was so foggy outside in the video, so I did have to deal with that. But I'll have to see how this video turns out when I get into post to edit it. Let's see, Wheels 247 was watching my Euro Truck video and wrote Roll Tide. That's because I did mention in there that I went to the University of Alabama. Roll Tide, buddy. And football season's just a few more weeks away. Cannot wait. And yeah, all the haters can hate, but that's my alma mater. I actually have a reason to cheer for them because I actually went to school there, versus all the people who say, you know, whatever. Serious Gamer, nice vids. Do you have a link for that PB? Oh, that's the Peterbilt. I haven't done the mods for Euro Truck yet. I will get you the link for that Peterbilt. I'll just put it in the video description or in the comments there for you, man. I got to figure out the link for it too. David Dole, I got an abscess from sinuses on the right side of my brain, so be cautious, Mr. Moose. The pain was that much, it half knocked me out like I was with it at the time, but I cannot remember anything until I woke up from the surgery and cut it from my brain, so please got to your doctor, get antibiotics from him or her. Yeah, it's one of those things. Every once in a while my sinuses just go crazy, and I think part of it is this new house that we bought. When I moved in here, it had been set up for 2-3 years because the person who originally owned it passed away, and the family took forever to settle the estate. And but it also has 1 million trees on the property. It's on 2 acres of land, and there's 1 million trees on the property, and the pollen and all that other stuff, and just little things around here. Every once in a while it grabs me. It also has a little bit to do with the fact that I work outside every day, and the temperature, in the 100-degree heat all day long, and then I come home and inevitably somebody will have set the thermostat down into the 70s, and that's frigid for me, simply because I spend all day in the sun. I don't need the house to be really cool. Cooler than 100 degrees is comfortable. So they tend to think the house needs to be around 70, 72. I tend to think the house needs to be around 78, 80, because 72 degrees is frigid when you're, sunburned and have dealt with the sun all day long. So, yeah. But that's me, and they hate that about me. But it's my house, so I get to make the rules, right? You'd think. One would think that when you own the home and someone is staying in your home as a guest, you would think that you get to make the rules. But they don't see it that way. That's the reason they're moving out soon. Sooner than they know. I'm getting better at backing these stupid dollies up, but I still can't stand them. Alrighty. Alright, so tomorrow's video we'll start plowing that field and getting it prepped. And I don't know. What do you guys want to do? I kind of thought about maybe going back to Colborough for a couple of days. Just because we've been on this one for 3 days now. But I do enjoy this this particular farm. I really like it. I could stay on this one every single day and not change over. I like it here. It's pretty fun. Pretty fun. Let's see if there's any more comments. Let's see. Cookie D. Great video, mate. On the Euro truck. Thank you. Ace Crasher 24. Funny video. Quick question. Will your mods, are all the GTA mods installed at the same time? Or some used currently? Don't worry if it's too difficult to check. Keep up the good work, man. That's on the GTA 5. GTA 5 is a whole nother monster when you're modding it. It's nothing like your farm sim or anything else like that, where you just drop the mods into a folder and they're in the game. You're actually modifying the game. Where most mods that you put in, you're not actually modifying anything. You're just adding in a plug-in. If you think about it, all of the mods that we use in Farm Sim that we call mods, they're really plug-ins. They're really something that you're putting into a mod folder, and the game is accessing it and using it. It's adding it into the game, and that's what we're actually doing. We call it modding because we are in a way modifying, but for the most part, it's a plug-in. It's an application that's being added to the game through the plugins folder, or you would call it a plug-in, or could call it a plug-in. Let me think about what I'm doing here so I get this right this time. But as far as modding GTA goes, you're actually modding GTA. You're actually having to go in and put files in that are actually changing physical aspects of the game. And you're doing that with, in order to add in textures and things like that. You're actually changing textures of vehicles in the game. So it's a little bit more complicated than just are mods active. Because while I have a long list of mods, a lot of the mods that are on that list are actually textures where I've gone in and changed the actual look of vehicles. It's the same vehicles in the game that were in GTA 5. It's just I've changed the texture of it to look like a different vehicle. So not all of the mods are active at one time, though all of the mods are in use. So it's hard to really answer that question. Anyways, alright, so that's about all of the comments. That gets us brought up to current. And alright, park this guy, turn it off. I don't know how the headlights got turned on it. Oh, I know how it got turned on. It was in cosplay. And cosplay automatically decides to turn the lights on, even though it's beautiful outside. There's the helicopter going over, if y'all haven't ever seen that. Alright, so how did we do? Let's look at our numbers real quick before we close out for the day. Wheat. We ended up with 168,000 units. Pretty good. We were at dead zero, if you remember, because we sold everything off. So that yielded us 168,000, which our barley is, our original harvest of barley was 152,000. So we actually did a little bit better than the barley that we started out with. And our actually barley has a little 8,000 added into it, because you start the game with 8,000. So that means our original barley harvest was only about 146,000. So if we look at our numbers that we got off of this, 168, pretty good. We did pretty good, pretty happy with that. So now I got to go back in and recalculate all my numbers for the next planting, which is probably going to be, I'll tell you this. Let's look at a different thing. I just realized this the other day. If you come down here, because I hadn't really looked at the sell prices. If we want to make some money, honestly, oats and soybeans where it's at. If you look, oats is selling for, a little over 2,000, and the soybean sells for over 2,000 at those locations. Freight yard's about 1,800, but at the country trade, we get a really good price on oats and soybean. So there's some money makers right there. Much better than any of the traditional grains that we normally plant. As you look at them, they're in the, under $1,000. And canola, usually floats around 1,200, 1,500, unless it's high demand. So the soybean and the oats are the money makers in this particular field or on this particular farm. So we probably want to do some more of them. But I do always like to get, in the beginning, I usually like to get all of my fruits at least up to 75, 100,000 units. That way when you do have a high demand, you've got some more. So we got some corn in the field. We got soybean in the field. So we're going to get those. We got a little bit of canola. We'll deal with potatoes and sugar beets down the road. Those are a nightmare. So we might come back and re-sow oats. It might be what we do is put in another field of oats, because we only got that small little bit of oats from that field that is corn right now. We probably need to do another field of corn too, since we're going to hose that other one. We're not going to get a very good yield on it. So yeah, that's where we're at. I don't know, what do you guys want to plant? Y'all let me know. We'll have a couple of episodes before we actually get to the actual planting process. So comment below. Tell me what do you guys think we ought to plant in the next field. Let me know on that one, okay? And that will wrap it up for this video. We'll do another one again tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Appreciate you coming by and watching the videos. You guys are awesome. We're getting ever so closely to having 2,000 subscribers, which is awesome. I think we're just a couple of hundred away. I think we're creeping up on 1,800. So appreciate everybody who shares the videos. That really means a lot to me, and we'll continue to grow this channel. So yeah, like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're one of the new viewers and you're just finding me. Welcome, and subscribe. I do a new video each and every day, especially farm sim, and then I spice in some other videos as well, but I try to get a farm sim video up every day. So yeah, that's gonna do it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.